Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, let's dive right in. In the world of AI, there's a revolution happening, and believe me, it's way bigger than just smarter chatbots. We're on the edge of a massive shift, from AI as a simple assistant to AI as a proactive agent. And the tipping point? It's coming fast, right around 2026. So let's unpack what that really means. So let's start with a number that might surprise you. After all the hype, all the experimentation, all the money poured into generative AI, get this, a staggering 80% of companies are reporting little to no real impact on their bottom line. That's a huge gap between the promise and the reality, and it's forcing everyone to rethink their entire strategy. So that begs the question, right? With all this incredibly powerful technology at our fingertips, why are so many businesses just spinning their wheels? Why aren't they seeing the results? Well, it turns out the problem isn't the AI itself. Not at all. It's the job we've given it. We've been treating AI like a glorified intern, a passive tool that just sits there waiting for the next command instead of really letting it off the leash. But that's where the whole story is changing. We are literally watching AI evolve from that passive assistant into a proactive, thinking agent. And this isn't just a minor software update. It's a complete teardown and rebuild of how work itself gets done. All right, so let's get right to the heart of it. What is the actual difference between an AI assistant and an AI agent? Because it's a really fundamental change in what they can do and what they're for. And here it is, the core shift. We're going from a tool that just responds to you to a digital teammate that acts for you. Think about it. Your current AI is totally reactive. You type in a command, it spits out a result. Agentic AI, it's proactive. You give it a high-level goal like increase sales leads, and it actually takes the initiative to figure out how to do it. This really is the new paradigm. It's not about asking AI for help with a tiny piece of a task anymore. It's about giving it the entire mission. AI is becoming a genuine collaborator, one that can make decisions and take action on its own, right inside the workplace. So what's the engine under the hood here? What's the big technological leap that's making all this possible? The answer, you may have heard of it, is something called foundation models. The best way to think of a foundation model is like a brilliant new hire who's already got a PhD in general knowledge. They just know how the world works. You don't have to teach them the basics of language or logic. You just need to show them the specifics of your business. This lets companies create these super powerful, specialized AI agents without having to build the entire brain from scratch. And the impact of this is just huge. I mean, first, deployment time gets crushed, from months down to weeks. But what's really mind-blowing to me is their ability to understand and reason across text, images, and audio, all at the same time. That's the key right there. That's what unlocks the automation of all that messy, complex work that up until now only humans could handle. And listen, this isn't just some far-off future theory. Let's look at a few industries where agentic AI is already on the ground, delivering some pretty incredible results. Okay, first up, finance. Now, this is a traditionally cautious industry, right? But even here, AI agents are already taking on really critical, high-stakes jobs in risk management and compliance. We're even talking about managing company funds. And the executives, they're clearly buying in. They're predicting that by 2027, almost a third, nearly 29% of all risk and compliance work will be automated. Just imagine autonomous AI watchdogs that are constantly scanning global markets and regulations, flagging problems before a human even sees them. Next up, let's talk about healthcare. Here, the mission is really clear. Tackle the massive burnout problem for doctors and nurses, and at the same time, make patient care way more coordinated. So agentic systems are coming in to handle all that administrative work that just wears people down. I mean, an AI that listens to a patient visit and just writes the clinical notes on its own? Or an agent that automatically schedules all of a patient's follow-up care? This is a game changer. It frees up doctors and nurses to do the one thing that actually matters, focusing on their patients. And then we have manufacturing, where AI agents are literally building the smart, resilient factories of the future. They're optimizing absolutely everything, from predictive maintenance to complex production schedules. The companies that are using these agents for things like predictive maintenance are seeing just incredible results. We're talking a 30% drop in cost and, get this, a 50% cut in machinery downtime. That is a direct and massive boost to the bottom line. Okay, so the potential is obviously enormous. But what does it really take to build this autonomous future? And more importantly, what are the big challenges that are standing in the way? Because it's not all smooth sailing. See, success here isn't just about having the smartest algorithm. You have to build a really strong foundation. And that foundation rests on three pillars. You need orchestration to make sure all the AI agents and humans are working together. You need rock-solid data integration so the AI has good information to act on. And you absolutely need strong governance to keep everything safe, ethical, and compliant. But of course, the hurdles are pretty significant. An overwhelming 72% of leaders say that navigating regulatory compliance is their number one concern. And right behind that, you have the usual suspects, cleaning up messy data and, just building basic human trust in these new autonomous systems. But here's the thing. Even with all those challenges, the momentum is pretty much unstoppable. All the data is pointing to a clear tipping point in 2026, the year this tech goes from being on the cutting edge to being in the mainstream. Get this. Enterprises are forecasting an 8-fold increase in the number of workflows that are powered by AI in just the next few years. That's not an incremental change. That's AI going from a niche tool to a core part of how every business operates. And of course, the money is following. To make all this happen, AI is projected to eat up 20% of all IT budgets by 2026. Think about that for a second. That's 1 out of every $5 spent on technology going directly to these intelligent systems. So the takeaway here is pretty clear. The age of agentic AI is coming, and that 2026 tipping point is going to be here before we know it. This isn't just about adopting a new piece of software. It's about completely rethinking how work gets done. So the real question isn't if your workflows are about to become autonomous. It's, are you ready to lead them when they do?